I'm Lee Wilhelm, Chair of the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce, representing 1,400 businesses that employ over 113,000 people in the Valley. Our mission is to make things better for business through a comprehensive program of work that includes networking events, small business assistance, information resources, and of course advocacy on issues and public policies that affect your businesses. And in keeping with that mission, it is my pleasure to welcome you here for the annual State of the County of Roanoke address by Board of Supervisors Chairman Richard C. Flores and Roanoke County School Board Chairman Jerry L. Kennedy. The state of Roanoke County is a great opportunity to strengthen the dialogue among government, business, community, and the region at large. And it is now my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our featured speakers. Richard Flores is in his third term on the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors representing the Hollins District. He has served since 2001 and is chairman in 2003 and 2007 and is as vice chairman, and is chairman in 2004 and 2008, and previously served from 1972 until 1975. Beyond his service as an elected official, he's been involved in his community. Richard served as a volunteer in the Hollins Fire and Rescue from 1976 to 1981 and received the Cave Spring J.C.'s Outstanding Citizen Award in 1974. Was named one of the outstanding young men in America in 1973 and named a Who's Who in Virginia in 1975. He is currently active with such organizations as the 5th Planning District Regional Alliance, Local Governments for Sustainability, ICLEI, the Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Commission Metropolitan Planning Organization, Total Action Against Poverty Board of Directors, Virginia Association of Counties, Liaison and Board of Directors for Region 11. Richard is a graduate of Roanoke College with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science and a graduate of William Byrd High School. He is the retired Director of Operations for Roanoke County School Administration and Craig County Administrator. Chairman Jerry Kennedy, Hollins District representatives, have served on the Roanoke County School Board since 1992 when he was first appointed to the board. He was elected to the board in 1994 and has served as chairman 4 times, including this current year. A native of West Virginia, Mr. Kennedy is a retired district manager for the Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles and currently works as a driving instructor. During the summer, Mr. Kennedy was often seen helping out during the renovations at Northside High School. He sits on several school committees, including the Special Education Advisory Committee, Construction Committee, Classified Salary Committee, Health Advisory Committee, and the Transportation Committee. Please join me in welcoming Richard Flores, Chairman of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors, and Jerry Kennedy, Chairman of the Roanoke County School Board. I'll take my notes. The podium is yours, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The introduction was just exactly as I wrote it. You didn't miss a word. I guess you can tell from the introduction I peaked in the 1970s. It's been kind of downhill ever since. Well, it started off pretty good. I didn't trip coming up here, so we'll see how it goes the rest of the way. Before I get started, there are some people I want to introduce. I had hoped that both of my children would be here with me this morning. My son is a captain in Roanoke City Fire Department. His shift ended at 7:30 this morning, and he told me that if all goes well in the shift change, he would be here. The empty seat down here is where he would have been. So I'm guessing that the shift change didn't go as smoothly as anticipated. He said it didn't go too well yesterday morning, so things just happen that way. But I do have, fortunately, my daughter is here, Kristen, who, if you watch RV TV at our board meetings, you've kept up with her since she graduated from Northside in 2002, and from University of Tennessee 4 years later. She did get out in 4 years, too, and she's proud of that. And she got her master's at Hollins this past August. So now she's a well-educated, unemployed young lady. So, if anyone's looking for an employee, She applied for the job as CEO of Wachovia, but it was already filled. Maybe not for long, but it's filled. So anyway, it's a delight to have her here. She's always been out of town all the other times. Also with me today is a very special person, Laverne Davis, who joins me this morning and has been my supporter during this process and telling me, you know, everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be okay. So I'm believing everything's going to be okay, you know. It'll be okay when it's over, is what it'll be. This is not my style. I don't like getting up and giving prepared speeches. Now, I can 3 minutes off the cuff, I'm really good. But when it comes to doing a 25-minute prepared lecture or speech, I'm not so hot on that. But anyway, thank you for being here. I don't know how many of y'all stayed up last night and watched the Colts and the Titans play. Well, I did. So if I stumble today, it's because the night was very short last night. But it was a fabulous game and I guess it was probably a game that I showed the least emotion in any football game I've ever watched, because I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan, because he's the last football hero that the University of Tennessee had, I think. But also I'm a big fan of undefeated teams. So it was kind of like, you know, do I want Tennessee to continue to be undefeated, which is where Peyton Manning came from, or do I want Peyton Manning's team to win? So anyway, it was a great game until the last 3 minutes, and then Tennessee just moved right ahead, took advantage of some mistakes. But it was a great game, but it ended really late. So anyway, let's move on with this. I've been told that I have to wrap this up by 10 o'clock, so we need to get going. We need to get going so we can get it over with. And the first 30 minutes is mine, and I think Jerry's got the last hour. Is that right? Anyway, thank you for being here this morning. About a year ago, my fellow board member and board chairman at the time, Joe McNamara, concluded his address to this group by encouraging all of us to lead. To lead by taking bold steps to prepare our region for the opportunities and challenges that we will face in years to come. And I'm happy to report to you that this board, the leaders of our community, and the citizens of Rowan County took this message to heart. I have been involved in local government and school administration across Virginia, but mostly in Rowan County, for over 40 years. And this has been the finest year, the greatest year, the most active year I've ever seen anywhere. And I'm talking about what Rowan County government is doing and what Rowan County Schools is doing. It's just unbelievable, the things that we have stepped out and are doing. It's been an exciting year. It's been quite literally a groundbreaking year, a time of transformation and transition for Rowan County and the Valley, a time for making big decisions. And big decisions are not easy to come by. They are tough to make. Over the past year, we seized the opportunity to move forward on a number of important and ambitious capital projects, regional initiatives, and public-private partnerships that will shape the future of Rowan County and our Valley. We have approved the construction of 4 new county facilities that I will talk more about in a little bit. We went on to work on a $9 million public safety initiative to upgrade our aging emergency radio system from analog to digital, equipment that is critical for our emergency service responders in the field. We broke ground on a significant regional initiative, the Route 220 Waterline Extension, a partnership with the county, the Western Virginia Water Authority, and Franklin County, that will bring public water and fire protection to the people and businesses along its path. We formed a partnership to locate a new 200-acre business park along the intersection of Interstate 581 and Interstate 81, investing now to ensure that we will have economic expansion in Rowan County in the years to come. And we offered a helping hand to our school system by helping fund a much-needed renovation of 4 elementary schools. That's 4 elementary schools in addition to what is already on their capital improvements plan and is on the schedule. None of these achievements have been by accident. What we've witnessed over the past year has been the result of determination and unwavering resolve on the part of the board, the staff, and especially the citizens of Rowan County, who support our efforts to improve the services we deliver and the quality of life available in this beautiful valley. But leadership, planning, and determination were just part of the equation. Financing was the linchpin to our success. Earlier this year, the nation's top national bond rating agencies, Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and Fitch reviewed Roanoke County's financial management practices. I'm happy to report that the county received one of the highest bond ratings of any county in the state, allowing us to proceed with our planned capital expansion. In the midst of the current financial climate, it is important to note that the bold decisions we made earlier this year that would propel Roanoke County forward were the right ones. Interest rates were relatively low at the time, and through sound management practices, we had set aside adequate capital reserves as down payments on many of our projects that have helped support jobs for local tradesmen, contractors, and small businesses, and contributed to the overall strength of our regional economy. This past spring, we witnessed the fruits of our efforts with multiple groundbreakings for many of our capital projects, including the new North County Fire and Rescue Station, a much-needed facility that will enable our personnel to respond more quickly and efficiently to citizens in the county. And that facility is located at about the intersection of Hirschberger Road and Plantation Road, for those of you who are not aware of that. The second one, a new fleet service center at which our emergency vehicles, refuge trucks, and other vehicles will be maintained and kept roadworthy. This is located on Hollins Road near Hollins Station. For those of you who know where Hollins Station used to be, it was out at Shadwell Drive and Hollins Road. And for the first time in 30 years, two quality of life projects, the new multi-generation recreation center and a new public library. The much needed and much anticipated multi-generation recreation center located in the new industrial park will provide recreational opportunity for citizens of all ages, abilities, and incomes. And that's located, of course, at Valley Point, at the end of Valley Point, right at Woodhaven Road. Next year, we will break ground on the final capital project, a new South County library that will replace our overcrowded headquarters library on 419, and that facility is right across from Penn Forest Elementary School. These two projects, paired with the other quality of life components we are fortunate to have in place, such as the Greenway system, numerous county parks, including the newly dedicated Reed Mountain Preserve and Bonsai, the Blue Ridge Parkway, which will celebrate its 75th anniversary in 2010, and the region's beautiful natural environment, low cost of living, low crime rate, and easy access to metropolitan centers along the eastern seaboard provide businesses the right formula to attract and retain qualified employees. I thank my fellow board members and the county staff for your hard work in making these projects a reality. And to the citizens and businesses in the community, I also thank you for your continued support. I am sure everyone agrees that 2008 has indeed been a groundbreaking year for Roanoke County. Let me just pause to say that all of these projects, many of them started, have been in the mill for 2 or 3 years, but all of them took all 5 board members to accomplish. I'm the reporter, I'm giving you the message, but I want you to know that the 5 board members, my 4 counterparts on the board, all of them deserve a part of the credit because they actually were very instrumental in making it happen. We all know there are challenges ahead. Our next leadership test will not involve capital accounts or capital projects, but ensuring adequate funding in our operating budget. We've all seen the news. The economy is not what it was a year ago. Roanoke County first felt the pinch from the Commonwealth back in the spring when we learned that the state was going to reduce aid to localities in its budget. In our case, the result is a loss of approximately $500,000 in state funding. Rather than see programs that were dependent upon that money suffer, we chose to absorb the loss. As some of you may recall, we generated some interesting headlines about cutting a check and labeling it state aid to the Commonwealth. And that's a story for a different time. It's been an interesting story. The news out of Richmond over the past couple of months remains dismal. We have since learned that we will lose an additional $300,000 this year, bringing our total loss in state funding thus far approximately to $800,000. To make matters worse, we expect even deeper cuts to localities and schools in the next year. In addition to reductions from the state, we also anticipate very limited growth in personal property, sales, and meals tax we will collect in this year. Like many of you, we know what we're up against, and we're taking long, hard, proactive look at how we do business. In August, we asked each county department to develop budget reduction scenarios in the amounts of 5, 10, and 15%. The county administrator and senior staff are now working with our larger departments to evaluate the impact these potential cuts could have on their operations and to look for any and all cost-saving measures. We realize budget cuts aren't the only answer, and we're working to increase the efficiency and cost-effectiveness of our operations in other ways. We have addressed the situation with help of our employees by using common sense and green technologies when possible. For example, we have additional hybrid vehicles to our fleet and implemented a biodiesel program with many of our large vehicles now running on 5% biodiesel fuel. Any cost savings related to fuel are extremely important due to the erratic and unpredictable oil market. Last fiscal year, Roanoke County spent $500,000 more in fuel than it had been budgeted, and we want to avoid similar surprises this year. Just a little postscript here. I bought gas yesterday in Newcastle, way out in the hinterlands, Butch, for $2.23.9. And when I came back, I had a meeting there last night, and as I came back, every station between here and there was less than $2.30 a gallon. So the ease is here, and I can't believe that gas prices can drop from $4 a gallon to $2.30 in such a short period of time without there being some manipulation of the market. That's an editorial comment. That's not a public purpose. We have cut the costs of transportation for our building maintenance crews by rearranging work schedules to reduce travel between county facilities. Earlier this month, we installed video conferencing equipment in our public safety building and administration center so that employees no longer must travel from one building to another for routine meetings. We are evaluating energy efficiency inside the building too, and installed programmable thermostats in fire stations and other county buildings that help us better control heating and cooling costs. And by the way, Roanoke County Schools did that 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So Roanoke County Schools has had an energy management program for 8 years that I at least, and last time it was in the multi-millions of dollars that had been saved in that. It's a huge savings. In addition, the 3 construction projects currently underway in Roanoke County, our Fleet Service Center, Multi-Generational Recreation Center, and Western Virginia Regional Jail will be LEED certified, the green standard for environmentally sustainable and energy efficient construction. Studies show that LEED buildings have a greatly reduced cost of operations over their lifetime. While these facilities aren't operational yet, once they are, we expect the county to save money well into the future. These are some of the examples of cost savings we have taken, and with the help of our staff and utilizing trends that have been successful in other localities, we hope to develop and implement even more cost-saving measures in the future. While we remain concerned and are taking realistic and common sense approach to budgeting and cost savings, we realize that things could be far worse. Unlike some communities in California, Florida, and Northern Virginia, we have not experienced the sting and fallout of a rapidly deflating real estate market and resulting foreclosures. The citizens of Roanoke County tend to be conservative, and growth in our real estate market is often referred to as slow and steady. We've decided this year we like slow and steady. While sales may not be as rapid as they were a year or two ago, for the most part, Roanoke County's and the Roanoke Valley's real estate values remain solid. In Roanoke County, real estate continues to be a sound investment. Roanoke County's diverse business community is another reason the county remains strong. Unlike some communities that depend upon only 1 or 2 major employers, we're known for a wide variety of businesses. In Roanoke County, you'll find a mix of retail, commercial, and industrial companies that contribute to our tax base and are continuing to enjoy growth. Last fiscal year, building permits valued at more than $106 million were recorded in Roanoke County. Of that amount, more than $60 million was in commercial construction. In other words, commercial growth is outpacing residential, something that is essential to a healthy, growing, and vibrant community. This has been a great year for business in Roanoke County. Over the past year, we saw growth in the retail sector with the opening of a new Kroger-anchored shopping center in Bonsack, the Gander Mountain Camping World and Tractor Supply in Hollins. We celebrated the expansion of Synchrony Incorporated and New Millennium Building Systems, as well as the relocation of Toshiba Mitsubishi Electric GE headquarters to the former Atlantic Mutual building on 419. This company is known as Mike GE, is particularly notable because it represents an international investment and has created 250 new jobs for our region. In addition, several of Tanglewood Mall's anchor stores also underwent renovation, while the county's commercial corridor along 419 saw the opening of 2 new office buildings. Roanoke County supports and stands behind the business community, which is bolstered in part by the county's award-winning school system. Good schools and good business environment go hand in hand, providing the community with a strong educational ethic and assuring the existing workforce that the educational needs of the community are being met. As I mentioned earlier, we're helping the school system fund the renovation of 4 elementary schools that will now receive much-needed upgrades to classrooms and equipment, optimizing the learning environment for young minds. These improvements are also an investment in the future, an investment in our children and grandchildren, and a reflection of Roanoke County's commitment to public education. To update you more on the health of the Roanoke County school system, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the chairman of the Roanoke County School Board, Jerry Canada. And while Jerry's coming up, Jerry is not only the chairman of the school board, he's also a neighbor of mine. He lives within a stone's throw of the farm I grew up on. And I had the pleasure working for Roanoke County Schools the last 10 years of my full-time career. My career now is part-time over in Craig Counties, but the last almost 10 years was with Roanoke County Schools. And I can tell you the school board there is much like our board of supervisors. They look at the benefit for the entire county. They are not tied to just their district. And this is one person. He didn't even have a high school or a middle school in our district because we're both in the same district. But so we have both taken the big picture look and have actually done these things without being territorial. And that goes a long ways toward getting things accomplished in a very polite and diplomatic manner. And it's been a pleasure working with the school board and Jerry Canada especially. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard. I really appreciate those kind words and that fine introduction. Before I get started, I'd just like to make one correction to the introduction. I'd like to introduce Fuzzy Minix, who's also the newest member of our school board. Marion Rourke is no longer on the board. My wife Lane is here this morning with me, and also I'd like to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Lorraine Lang. Good to have you with us this morning. In short, ladies and gentlemen, our schools have never been better. But don't take my word for it. I think the headline seen in the August 15th edition of the Roanoke Times says it all. Roanoke County Schools gets an A. This year, every single school met all the adequate yearly progress requirements of the federal No Child Left Behind Act. Also, our school district met those same requirements. This is quite an accomplishment. Out of 132 school systems in the state, only 17 saw the same success as we did for the previous school year. I would like to congratulate our staff, students, and parents, as well as my fellow school board members, for this great, tremendous team effort. It is this effort that allows me to stand here this morning and deliver such wonderful news, even in the face of increasingly difficult economic times, both nationally and locally. These accomplishments also are the result of outstanding leadership of our school superintendent, Dr. Lorraine Lang, and her team. We are extremely fortunate to have a superintendent who is so focused on the education of our children and dedicated to, as she says, learning for all, whatever it takes. But the news gets even better. Every single school in Roanoke County remains fully accredited by the Virginia Department of Education. This means our schools have met the rigorous standards of excellence set forth by the state of Virginia. Roanoke County has one of the best school systems in the state, and we feel these results prove it. It is important to note that no school system can have such great success without the support of a great local government. The school board and the board of supervisors coordinate financial issues that allow us to have all the technology and other supports throughout the schools. We appreciate that cooperation, and on behalf of everyone on the school side, we say thank you very much. Earlier this year, 4 of our schools were recognized with the Governor's Award for Educational Excellence. Nearly every other school received recognition from the Department of Education. In March, Roanoke County Public Schools received the Magna Award from the American School Board Journal for the Engineering Specialty Center at our Burton Center for Arts and Technology. The Magna Award is one of the highest national honors a school system can receive. The Visual Arts and Performing Arts Specialty Centers at Burton were recognized this year with a Kindig Award for Outstanding Arts Education Program from the Arts Council for the Blue Ridge. Roanoke County was named one of the top 100 communities for music instruction by the NAM Foundation, a highly respected music education advocacy group. Studies have shown that students who are exposed to top quality music programs perform better in English and math. So, we are committed to making sure our students have access to top quality arts-related instruction. There are so many other awards and recognitions our schools have received this year that I could spend the entire time on these successes. But there's even more excellence going on in our schools that I want to share. This truly has been a groundbreaking year. Soon, we will wrap up the largest renovation project in the history of our school system at Northside High School. Just about every square foot of the school has been updated as part of the nearly $30 million project. Northside also is the first school in Roanoke County to make use of some green technology. We're using the geothermal power of the earth to heat and cool the facility. With the ever-increasing energy cost, we expect this green technology to pay for itself in only 4 to 5 years. Northside isn't the only school where improvements are planned. In the future, we're considering major renovations at Masons Cove, Mount Pleasant, Cave Spring, and Green Valley Elementary Schools. Also, we are in the planning stages for renovations and additional classrooms at William Byrd High School. With the ever-increasing requirements to meet adequate yearly progress as part of No Child Left Behind, our teachers and students need the tools to succeed in the 21st century. So we're giving our students and teachers those 21st century tools and skills. Everywhere you turn at each of our schools, you will see the latest technology, from high school students with laptop computers to interactive whiteboards called active boards. This year, the school board made a significant investment in the use of our technology in our classrooms. Every core elementary classroom now has an active board. Our students are more engaged, and classroom instruction is being greatly enhanced thanks to this new technology. Active boards have been installed in every classroom at Northside High School as well. Our teachers simply love their active boards. Using a voting feature, a teacher can determine in just seconds if an individual student or the class has grasped a particular concept. That's something that used to take much more time, if at all. We also are in the 6th year of a program where all high school students have a laptop computer to use for their education. The end result is that by the time our students graduate, they are better prepared to use technology in academic and business settings. This makes them better future employees. We also are making use of technology to help make our schools safer. We have installed additional security cameras in all our schools to better monitor indoor and outdoor activity. We also are working on an improved visitor sign-in system. Anyone who visits our schools will have to check in and provide identification in order to enter the building. If and when necessary, we now have the ability to immediately communicate with parents through our instant alert system. We take the security of our schools seriously.